move my other cloud here. Hey, how's it going? My name's Matt, here with Side Yard Mechanic. This is going to be our first video here on YouTube. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do a walk around. This is our 54 F100, Ford F100. We've had it for a few years now. It's been sitting for like 30 something years. When we got it, I think we got it about 5 years ago. But like 2-3 years ago, we started getting it up and going on the road. You know, we put new wheels on it, we put disc brakes on it, we put in, you know, carburetor, ignition, different things, had the interior done. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to just do a quick little walk around. So if you can follow me, you know, we put the wheels on, just some steel wheels, some 15-inch with some new tires. It's kind of hard to see. We'll probably do a video on that later, but there's disc brakes under there. We put a new fuel tank. We come around. You kind of see under here, there's a new fuel tank under there. This gray part down there. All new fuel lines. Around the back, we rebuilt the rear drums, put new wheel cylinders. There was a lot of things. The truck was pretty much complete, but there was a lot of things missing. Like there wasn't any turn signals. The bed was actually, like, the truck was in one city and the bed was in another city. But it's the original bed for the truck. That's one thing we got to do is work on the bed, put the wood back in there, the slats. Yeah, it had like a dual exhaust setup, but it wasn't really done right, so we put it back to the single exhaust. We got the original Ford 223 engine in it with a 4-speed on the floor, so that has the granny low shift. And we're gonna do a drive around too in a little bit, kind of show you how it works. Like all this stuff was missing, like the door handles, the mirrors, the wipers. We got all that stuff through LMC. Some stuff from eBay, like the cowl vent up top. That was missing too. A little orange part up there. And then you come around the front here. We got the patina look going. When we got the truck, it was all primered, like red oxide, everything, the grill, everything. So we've been wet sanding it down, getting that original paint, but even like the headlights, the turn signal, bezels, all that stuff was missing. So, you know, once again, got all that like from LMC in different places. Currently just fixed the hood. The hood didn't stay up on its own. We had to weld up the hood here, made a little like a little gusset to strengthen it up. But this is the original Ford 223 cubic inch motor. What we've done is we put a carburetor on it. The original Holley 1-barrel we had was having some issues with the idle circuit, like the little bypass plate inside was clogged up or something. I couldn't really get it clean, so I ended up buying one of these, you know, replica Holley 1-barrels, and it's been working great. No issues with that. We put the Pertronix ignition, so the pickup inside the coil with the Pertronix coil and the Pertronix ignition wires. And what I meant is we put the Pertronix in the distributor, the little pickup. This truck is also 6-volt positive ground. That's original. A lot of guys, you know, say they got trouble with it, have issues with it, but even that's something that we're going to go over in this channel, is kind of how to get your 6-volt system strong and working good. One of the things you notice are these real thick battery cables. So we made these out of some, I think it's like double-aught welding cable that we got. We crimped on our own ends. We're going to be relocating the battery back underneath the passenger floor like original. When I got this truck originally, it had 2 gas tanks. It had an auxiliary tank underneath, but they were all rusted out, so we just went with the single. Yeah, no major issues. One thing that we did have to recently do was solder up the tank on the radiator. It had sprung a little leak right here, so we soldered that up. Got a new voltage regulator. Had the generator rebuilt. Got a little overflow here for the radiator, this little mason jar thing. But yeah, it's completely cold, you know, so we're gonna do a cold start. You know, initially, you know, or one day what we like to do is put the Clifford setup on it, you know, either with the single or the dual carbs and the split headers and all that, and get it running, you know, good. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fire it up right now. We did have the interior done. We kind of did it here in the driveway. Me and the kids, we sanded down and repainted the inside, and then one of the local guys in town did the interior, headliner, seat, redid the seat, rewrapped it, carpet, stuff like that. So we're kind of working on this too, like the gauges and all that. We got to get that working, but it's been going good so far. So let me hop in here and get it started for you. Turn it on, and this one, it has the key on that side and it has a push start here. Let's see how it starts. Gotta get the gas up to the carburetor. There we go, it's gonna go. Pull out the choke a little bit, let it idle. It's a little cold today. But here inside the cab, what we did put a Bluetooth stereo. I think I got my phone somewhere I can hook it up. But yeah, so all it is just a Bluetooth receiver here. There's a few guys did some other videos on YouTube. We'll probably do a video on that. Yesterday I just hooked up this phone charger. You know, it's got 2 ports, got a little voltmeter on there. You know, got to be able to charge up the phones nowadays. And this is all running off a 6-volt positive ground. Let me grab my phone real quick. You guys come over here and see how smooth the engine's running right here. Once again, this is cold, you know. With the motor internally, we didn't do anything. All we did was service it. We changed the motor oil, spark plugs. Once again, I said we did the ignition. Just recently, I did a valve adjustment, running valve adjustment. We also put a new clutch in it, throw-out bearing, all that. Changed the transmission fluid, redid the rear differential fluid. But we didn't mechanically take anything apart. Everything was working pretty good. We'll go here in the cab and show you how this Bluetooth works. So all you got to do is make sure you're connected to the Bluetooth, and you know, I go through, you know, Amazon Music streaming. Of course, for the video, my phone wants to be shy and not work. We just got 2 speakers. This works pretty good for inside a truck. And this is your volume control here.
The devil keep calling me back. Ooh.
The cool thing with this is there's no EQ in the truck, but you could go in the app and you could adjust your EQ, take out some bass. Add bass, take out treble. So that's that. I don't know if you want to go maybe hear what the exhaust sounds like. Maybe just go right here and then I'll rev it up. Sounds pretty good. And again, that's just the stock setup with the Smithy's glass pack in it. So yeah, I think we're about ready to go for a little drive. So have my wife hop in and I'm gonna move some cars around and we'll get going. All right, well, we just pulled over at the gas station real quick. We're actually gonna be headed over to my buddy's house. Gonna weld up a few little spots in the door here. There was some extra mirrors. There was an antenna on the little cowl part of the hood, so we're gonna try to weld that up today. So we're gonna do a little drive. as we go, you know, probably a few miles down the road. So here we go.
Yeah, baby.
All right. So with the 6 volt, you know, having those thicker cables gets the engine cranking over way better. So here we go. So real quick, I'll stop here. So being that this is a 4-speed with granny low, you actually take off in 2nd gear. So granny low is up here and it's really torquey. This is like if you're towing a trailer or pulling something off the ground. So you hardly ever drive in 1st. You start in 2nd. And the cool thing about this transmission is that it's synchronized. So it shifts real good. 3rd. 4th. Here we go. Now we're cruising. You can see here, got the voltmeter that we're charging. It's about 8.5 volts right now. When you put a load on it with the lights and everything, it goes down about 7.8, which is good for a 6-volt system. You know, it took a little getting to know and understand the system, because when I first put it together, we were driving and I didn't know about adjusting the voltage regulator. So we were driving at night with the lights on, and then all of a sudden the car died, or the truck died, and then we were there stuck, stranded, had to get a new battery and everything. But then figured out how to adjust the voltage regulator to get the voltage up. So, you know, I want to be able to do like a little how-to video on how to do that too. So, you know, even maybe adjusting carburetor, adjusting timing, using timing light, different things like that. Close this cowl in here. So the truck goes pretty good. Exhaust isn't too loud, but it doesn't hesitate. It's got good power. Like I said, we got this truck from a friend of the family, and it sat since 1984. It actually got parked before I was even born, but we were able to get it up and going, get it started. We got it started, you know, by putting some points in it, some gas, kind of cleaning out the carburetor. But then once I got it over to my house a few years later, went through it, put a new gas tank, new fuel lines, new carburetor, did the Patronics ignition system, did the disc brakes in the front, rebuilt the drums in the back, changed all the fluids, flushed the radiator, flushed the block, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty fun truck to ride in. Me and the wife and our 2 boys like to cruise around in it, go to the drive-ins. We've taken it camping. You know, it's been around. I take it to work at least once a week. On the freeway, it does pretty good. About 60 miles per hour is like, you know, where it likes to go with the 4-speed and you know, the stock rear end and the gearing and all that. And I think with the 15-inch wheels, the gearing's a little lower, you know, so the top speed's a little limited. But for this old truck, it's perfect. Brakes work real good. You know, with the disc brakes, you don't have that pull to the left or to the right. You know, if you were to have the drums in the front, so it's a good upgrade. And I think I got that from Speedway. They had like their disc brake conversion. Uses Ford discs with Chevy calipers, which I know you're not supposed to put Chevy parts on a Ford truck, but it's just how it is. Of course, we're gonna have a train. It's a fast one. But what we're going to be doing too is eventually is going through this gauge cluster, getting all the gauges to work. Right now, the only thing that works on here is the battery light. When I first started driving the truck, the speedometer was working, and then the original speedo cable broke, and I think it messed up the speedo drive and the gauge. But I have another cluster that I'm going to try to put together and make one work, you know, that has the glass and the bezel. Oil pressure works. Right now we're running at about 58 PSI. Wipers work. You could see that, you know, when I first got power to the truck, excuse me, when I first got power to the truck, the wiper switch was on and there was no wiper blade on it. It scratched the windshield, but it's all right. Cruising around here in a nice gloomy Bay Area fall day. It's one of my wife's favorite types of days, which is nice in this truck because there's no AC, so it's not unbearably hot. But all you got to do if it does get hot is you crack one of these vent windows open and instant AC. So yeah, we did the interior, put the visors on. Like, there was nothing in this interior when we got it. There was maybe a steering wheel and a bench seat that was like a buffet for rats. We got to wire up our turn signals. That's what all these wires are for here. Got to hook all that up. Doing a video on that too. Got to hook up the horn. You know, all the little electrical stuff. But you know, we got the ashtray. Put that in. That was like an eBay glove box. None of this stuff was here. Normally this panel is solid, but they had cut a bunch of holes for different gauges. I think at one time this had the original radio. I think it had a heater. So they had drilled 3 big holes here and some other holes for the heater controls. But I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with it when I repainted it, so I just made this cover to go over it for now, which it seems to work. The cowl vent was missing too. So for a while, all I had was a piece of cardboard with some duct tape up there, but ended up finding this one. You just use this lever, open and closes the cowl vent. That lets quite a bit of air in. Got the dome light up here working. Windows got all new rubber around the windows. Pulled the windows out, put new seals. Yeah, we'll do one more little takeoff here, then we'll let you guys go. So once again, thanks for checking us out. This is the first video that we have. Look for more videos if you like. Put a like, subscribe, look for more content. We're going to be focusing in on this truck. I'm also a Harley mechanic, so we'll probably be doing some Harley, how-to videos, change your oil, different stuff like that. So once again, this is Matt from Side Yard Mechanic. Thanks.